So while I was up there, I was sitting down in the chairs waiting for her to conduct business. I called Detective Pollock and was going to come down. And
hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. 1 second. Don't leave. Reach in. You put the paperwork in the back already?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry about that. I just checked out so that they don't bother me.
Yeah.
Okay, so from the beginning, your daughter was involved in something, her passport and stuff?
Yeah, at a
okay.
yeah.
So you guys came here?
Came down so she could get properly ID. And somehow or another, she got into an altercation with the lady behind the glass, okay?
Your daughter did?
My daughter
okay.
did. So I was sitting down in the chairs, and 3 other officers, unnamed officers, were coming down, overheard the conversation, and told her, to kind of quiet down, and wanted her to step outside the building.
Were you inside when all this was happening?
Yeah, I was inside.
What was she saying? Why did she even get in an argument? Like what?
It was a woman thing, I wasn't really paying attention.
Like what was being said though?
Well, she told the lady she needed to go back to her own country.
Your daughter said that to the lady behind the desk?
Yeah.
She needs to go back to her own country?
Yeah.
Okay.
And when the officer heard her say that, it's kind of disrespectful. He told her, step outside. And
okay.
She said, well, that's my dad. He said, well, you come too. So as he was talking out there, he wanted an affirmative yes. She was going to calm it down, tone it down, and conduct business. When she didn't give him the affirmative yes, he said, well, I'm going to call the team down. So when he did that and started to go back in the building, I started following him back in. He hit me with his right hand, pushed me, and slammed my hand in the door.
Who is he?
The officer did.
Oh, you don't know his name, though?
No.
Okay.
No. So I told her, I said, look, you get me involved in something. I said, I'm 72 years old. I ain't got no business fighting nobody. So I told her, let's leave. I spotted the officer there and reported off-site to a neutral zone.
Okay. So you drove around looking for an officer, or you just happened to see one?
Yeah, I was driving around looking for an officer. Okay. That's why I saw those guys over there taking care of some kind of disturbance.
So, back up.
Mm-hmm.
So the officer was asking you guys to step outside?
Yeah, he asked us to step outside.
And then when he turned around to walk back inside, you followed him in?
I followed him back in, yeah. Then he turned around suddenly, pushed me in my chest, pushed me back out the door, and slammed the door on my finger.
Okay, so when he was walking back inside,
mm-hmm.
and you were behind him, he was like, so his back was to you walking inside.
Right.
And then when he went to close the door behind him, you were coming in behind him.
Right.
After he told you to stay outside until you guys calmed down.
No, he didn't tell me to stay outside. He told her to stay outside.
Okay.
But I was going to come back outside because I was going to handle this with Detective Pollock because she was all upset.
And Detective Pollock was there for the sole purpose of identifying her.
Right.
Because he can't give her information if he doesn't know that it's she is as she says. Okay,
I was going to meet him. He was coming from down upstairs. So I was going to wait for him in the lobby.
And then what happened after all that? After you're telling me he pushed you out the door, what happened after all that?
I left.
Okay.
I just stay there. Like I said, I'm 72 years old. I ain't got no business fighting nobody.
Okay. So what is it that you would like to do? Are you wanting to make a complaint?
I'm making a complaint. I'm filing for assault.
All right. So here's what we can do. I'll have you write down everything that you've told me, and if you left anything out, just write it on the statement.
Right.
I'm going to turn that statement in. During business hours tomorrow, you can come down or you can call.
I'm leaving.
You can still call.
Going back to Texas.
Right, but you can still call and ask to speak to the Internal Affairs Department.
Okay.
So there's documentation that this happened. You're writing a sworn written statement. I'm turning it in. They'll be able to look at your statement and then talk to you a little bit more about
what transpired.
Because like I said, I'm like the middle person, right? You're one. So I'm going to make sure that this complaint gets to the person it needs to get to.
Right.
And then if you're wanting to follow up with the formal complaint, then you have to call because they're not there. They're not right there. They're not there right now.
Right. Okay.
It's after hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any injuries or anything like that from what transpired? Your finger there? Let me see. Okay, you don't need medical attention or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So, what caused that? Him pushing you, or did you hit something?
He pushed me and he slammed the door, and my hand was kind of light.
Were you trying to hold the door open while he was closing
I was trying to hold the door, but I had when he's closing the door, I put my hand on the door like this.
Okay. While he was closing the door, you put your hand in the door.
Well, I was trying to open the door, you know.
Okay.
My hand was inside the door.
All right. Let me get you a statement, okay?
Okay.
You can step over to the hood of my car if you want, or the trunk. Do you have your ID on you?
Sure. See, he slammed my hand in the door, then he opened up, and then that's when he pushed me back.
All right. So what I need you to do, you can borrow my pen, is start where it says I, print your name, and then just about what time you got there, and write down everything that you told me or whatever happened. Okay?
Mm-hmm. What's the address of the
1250 West South Street.
1250 West South Street?
Yes, sir. Or you can just put the Orlando Police Department headquarters. You know, we'll know what you mean. 1250 West South Street. Did your daughter witness any of this?
Yes, she did. She's sitting in the car there.
Okay, I'm going to go talk to her. Is that okay if I talk to her real quick? Here.
And you mean to tell me it takes you 3 months to get back with me about a cell phone and a tablet?
How you doing, man? I'm here to talk to you about what happened with your dad.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mom, let me call you right back, okay? Okay.
Go ahead and kind of just tell me what happened today.
Basically, we went to the police station at 1250 West South Street.
Okay.
I went in. I was having a lady assist me. So what happened was I was waiting at a counter, and the lady, the staff person, got up and walked away. Okay. And I stepped away, handed my dad the phone, and went back to the counter. Lady comes out, and she was not the same lady. So she proceeds to tell me that their office is closed. I said, well, how is your office closed when I was standing here to be waited? Lady gets up and doesn't even say anything. So I told her, I said, I'm waiting for her to return. So she proceeds to accuse me of being on the phone and trying to transact business. I said, ma'am, I wasn't on the phone. I was handing my dad the phone. So needless to say, her and I had words. I asked her what was her title, who was she, and I proceeded to tell her she needed a little more education on how to talk to people because I felt that she was being disrespectful to me. I didn't yell. I didn't curse at her. I simply told her I felt that she needed some training. She got mad. She told me, listen, don't tell me about this and that. I said, well, I'll tell you what, since that's the way you want to behave, why don't you go back to your country where you're from? Because we don't do business like that here. We show respect to people. We help people here. So this guy comes out.
What's that?
What time did you get the call?
Oh, I'd have to look. It's all time-stamped in the system. I'd have to look at my computer to see.
What time did we get there, Danielle?
Oh, it was probably about 4:15. Yeah. So then what happens is some person, he doesn't identify himself, but he apparently is with law enforcement. He comes down and he says to me, hey, you need to calm down. You're not going to talk that way in here. Well, I'll put you out and we'll squash this right here and there. So I turned to him and I said, what are you talking about? He says, you're not going to talk that way. I said, well, did you hear what she said to me? I said, did you see her tone of what she was trying to accuse me of? I said, this lady wasn't even present when I was talking to the front desk personnel. I said, she comes out of the back office accusing me. I said, listen, don't tell me about how to talk, because he started accusing me and telling me that I was being obnoxious and I was acting like a child, and I needed to step out. I said, look, I'll step out and talk with you. So I handed my dad a copy of my passport in order to talk to the other gentleman. I step out, the guy steps out with me. He proceeds to talk to me like a child. I did not take it very kindly. I let him finish. Then he tells me, he says, do you understand what I said? I said, I heard what you said. He says, no, the answer is yes or no. I said, I understand what you said. So then my father stepped out, and my father was saying, Danielle, just answer him. I said, I am. I'm telling him I understand. Because I didn't answer the way he wanted me to answer, he got belligerent. He tells me, I tell you what, you stay out of here talking to me. I said, no big deal, no problem. He says he's going to call for backup. I'm like, for what? There's nothing transpired. So then he goes in, my dad tries to follow, he takes his hand, he pushed my dad in the chest. My dad looks at him, he says, I'm a retired sergeant. He says, I just need to talk to you. He says, no, you wait out here with her. He said, sir, I haven't even done anything, I haven't even said anything. So he tries to pull the door shut. My dad was holding the door, and he slams his hand shut in the door. It wasn't an accident, it was intentional. He purposely did it because he forcibly grabbed the door. So when my dad came out and stepped out, I said, your hand's bleeding. I said, why did he do that? He says, I don't know. I said, and so my dad said, well, let's just leave. And I told my dad, I said, you know what? This is what I'm tired of. This behavior, the utter disrespect. This guy was not a sergeant. He had no respect for my dad. He had no right to put his hands on him. My dad had not said one word to him. He was talking to me. I never cussed at him. I never got loud with him. I simply didn't answer the way he wanted me to answer. You see? And that was it. I still never got my information that I needed because I'm the victim. I had things stolen. These people are giving me the runaround.
I understand all that. That's not why I'm here. I'm just here about what happened to your dad.
We never got that issue addressed, so that was it. That's end of story.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. No problem.
Man, will you be willing to write any of that in a statement? If you don't mind for a second, you can continue on the hood. I'm just going to grab a piece of paper for your daughter. Here you go. If you don't mind just grabbing your, do you have an ID?
I have a passport. That I just have a copy.
Fine.
Yeah, a copy of the passport. Let me see.
Well, here, you can write this and then look for that when you're done.
I got it right here. I think I put it in my book bag. Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Just start where it says I, print your name, and then just, I don't need to know about your case.
No, just
your victim,
the
just what happened with your dad.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going off camera. Make a phone call.